have this done for the quiz tomorrow because, like I said, it's not on the review. I'm not going to do a whole lot of problems since this is pretty much the same review as the one I gave you for quiz 4. And hopefully you still have the review for quiz 4. All I did was change a few numbers around. So I'm only going to do some of those. But you guys remember how to do these, right? From yesterday? Okay, all you do is you find the vertex first. So there's my vertex, which is 2, comma 0. Okay, that's my h and my k. And then you have to find the slope. So my slope is, make sure you do the intersection of the grid lines here. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1. And now that I have that, I can create my equation. So y equals, now my slope is -1, absolute value bar, x. Now I want the opposite sign of my h. Here's +2, so I need a -2. And then the k stays the same, plus 0. And if you want, you can simplify this to y equals negative absolute value of x minus 2. Either one of these would be fine for the answer on the quiz. Okay? That's creating an absolute value function. All right, let's go to your review for summative number 5. And again, I'm not going to do every problem because most of them are done on the review for summative number 4. Let's take a look at just a couple of factoring problems. All right, let's look at number 2. Number 2, let's say I have 18x cubed minus 42x squared. The largest factor of 18 and 42 I can divide out is 6. See, this one has 3 x's. This one has 2 x's. So I can take out of 2 x's at the same time. So 18 divided by 6 is 3. 3 x's divided by 2 x's is 1x. X to the first left. 42 divided by 6 is 7. And I'm taking out both those x's. So there's my answer. Okay. Let's see. Let's do number 5. Again, you get to use your factoring charts, right? Your flow charts. I just had mine here last hour. Here it is. So number 5, we should have been using these all along. Can I factor out any common terms? Well, you're thinking to yourself, well, 216, I don't know. Chances are looking pretty good that 3 is going to be a factor of 216 because we have 3 twice here. So I'm going to just try it on my calculator here. Let's see, 216, does it divide evenly by 3? And sure enough, it's 72. So I can take a factor of 3 out, and I have x squared plus x minus, what was it again? 72. So now, just keep following my flow chart here. I factored out the common terms. What type of polynomial do I have? Well, I have 3 terms. It's a trinomial. So I have to do the reverse FOIL, or what's called the guess and check method. So reverse FOIL means here's my factors that I'm going to think about foiling as I'm pulling out stuff from my trinomial here. So my first term, the only way to get x squared is x times x. I'm going to look at the factors of 72 here. So you have 1 and 72. See, 2 and 36. 3 and 24. Let's see, 4 and 18. 5 doesn't work. 6 and 12. And 7 doesn't work. Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? No, 7 doesn't work. 8 times 9. All right. Then I look at the sign here. Okay, so I'm looking at the sign of 72. So it's a minus. So either it's going to be a plus times a minus or a minus times a plus, which means I'm going to be subtracting those factors. I'm going to be picking a pair of these factors and subtracting them. And they have to add up to a positive 1x here. So I'm going to pick 9 and 8 because I know that when I subtract those, I'm going to get 1 left. So the question is, what sign do I use? 9 and 8. Well, I want it to be a positive one, so I want the 9 to be the positive number, so I'm left with a positive 1. And again, you could always check those by doing near arches. Positive 9x, negative 8x adds up to a positive 1x. So that's my factors. 3 times x plus 9, x minus 8. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to do number 7 because it looks pretty a little harder. Okay, there's nothing I can take out of 9, 51, and 70. There's no common factors. So this one, I need the factors of 9, which is 1 times 9, and 3 times 3. Then I'm going to look at the factors of 70. Now, there's quite a few of them. So 1 times 70. See, 2 times 35. 3 doesn't work. 4 times 4 doesn't work. 5. 5 will work, right? 5 times 14. 6 doesn't work. 7 times 10 works. All right, the signs. Say it's a positive, so it's either going to be a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative. So it means I'm going to be adding these together. And they're going to be adding to a negative number, so it's going to be minus times minus. The rest is going to be guess and check. Now, for the 9, I'm going to use the ones closest to each other because most of the time, not all of the times, it's going to be the ones closest together. So I'm going to put my 3x here and my 3x here. Gives me 9x squared. Let's see, I'm going to, again, choose the closest ones first and see how that works. So I'm going to put a 7 here and a 10 there. Let's see if this works. Negative 7 times 3x is negative 21x. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30x. And it looks like I got pretty lucky here, negative 51x, which is what I needed. So my factors here. 3x minus 7, 3x minus 10. Any questions on factoring, guys? All right. As Bob Seger would say, turn the page. Then we did some transformations. Um, if it's inside this, the first one, I have two transformations, right? I have inside and outside the math symbol. If it's inside, I move left or right, opposite the sign. So I'm going to move this to the right 5. If it's outside my math symbol, follow the sign. It's up or down, so this is up 6. Let's do 13. So I have 3 of them. I have the 8, the 2, and the 3. The 8 is my slope. It's greater than 1, so I'm going to stretch by 8. The 2 is inside the math symbol, so I'm going to go opposite the sign. So I'm going to go left 2. And then the 3 is outside, so I'm going to go up or down, follow the sign, down 3. Okay, 14. Now you know how to do it either way. You know how to do it with the calculator, and you know how to do it by vertex form that we learned yesterday. Okay, I think it's easier to use the vertex form. Remember, y equals a times the absolute value of x minus h plus k, where a is the slope, and my vertex is hk. So all I need to do here is find my vertex and slope. So my vertex for 14, opposite the sign inside the parentheses, right? This is my h, that's my k. So I have a positive 2. My k is the same sign, so negative 3. My slope is negative 1/4. Vertex is 2, negative 3. My slope, going to go down 1 to the right 4. And then axis of symmetry, so I'm going to go down 1 to the left 4. And here's my graph. So I think it's easier using the slope form. You're more than happy to do it with your calculators. Questions? I'm almost done. All right, exponent properties. That's a retake. Okay. If I don't have an exponent, it's a 1. I have an exponent outside parentheses, so I have to distribute and multiply each exponent. So I have 2 to the 1 times 2, which is 2 squared. X to the 4 times 2 is 8. Oh, sorry. Y to the 2 times 2 is 4. You can leave it like that, or you can multiply out the 2 to 4, x to the 8th, y to the 4th. I'll type either one, doesn't matter. 17, I have a fraction. So I'm going to think of these as almost like individual fractions here. Okay. My 14/8 simplifies to, well, 2 divides into 14 7 times, 2 divides into 8 4 times. Let's look at the a's. I have a to the -5. Since we're dividing, we have to subtract our exponent, so minus -4. This becomes a plus. So I have a to the -1. Cannot leave negative exponents in there, so I'm going to have to flip it. So our a to the first goes in the bottom. And then my c's. Let's see. C to the 6 minus 2 gives me c to the 4th. Don't have to flip it or anything. It's a positive exponent, so it goes up on top. Okay. Oh, I reduced 14/8. If you put it in your calculator, 14 divided by 8 equals, then hit math, enter, enter. I get 7/4. Okay. I just reduced the fraction, 14/8. All right. Last page. 22. Give an example of a listing of points that is not a function. What's not a function in a chart? Yeah, if I have, let's see, suppose I have -1, 2, 3, 4, and 3. If I have the same x in the column with different y values, suppose that 3 has 0, this 3 has 1. Okay? -2, -1, 0, 2. See how I have the same x with different y's? Basically, if you got the same x, it's not gonna be a function. Okay? In fact, you could even put that as your answer. Why is it not a function? Because two x values have two same x values. I should put two same x values have different y values. What's our domain? Our domain is going to be, now these are points, so I have to use brackets. -1, 2, 3, and 4. The range, -2, -1, 0, 2, 1. Which one do you want me to do? Create a function and create a non-function? Do the function. Um, any lines of function except the vertical line, that's the easiest function to do. What's the domain? Yeah, let's see. This x is -3, includes -3. Then it goes out to 2. The range, be careful here. Don't it's The smallest y value is -2, and the largest y value is +2. And I think you guys can do the rest. Are we good? Got to be easy peasy test tomorrow, right? Not only that, I have your homework checks already done.